The term e-bike has become a general catch-all phrase for all electric bikes, and that includes subgroups like emotos. But there is a large difference between regular e-bikes and emotos, and here I want to dive into this using more specific examples, identify the pros and cons of each type, and in terms of value, which one is generally better. So an e-bike officially is a bicycle with functioning pedals that has a motor up to 750 watts and speeds of up to 28 miles per hour. This can vary based on location, but it's a good general baseline for an e-bike. Most bikes in this category look something like this. It's clearly a bike, although you can tell it's electric. Compared to an acoustic bike, the frame, the entire package is more robust, and we often have large fat tires. E-motos, on the other hand, are usually small, light dirt bikes with an electric drivetrain. A perfect face for this category is the popular Suron, and to the uneducated eye, this is clearly different than even the more robust e-bikes. But at the same time, it's clearly not a motorcycle. E-motos are often the same rough dimensions as e-bikes in terms of their length, width, height, even with similar weights. But the design is clearly dirt bike inspired versus bicycle inspired. Aside from this, e-motos usually don't have functioning pedals, and they offer more power and faster speeds. So which is ultimately better? I think to properly answer this, you have to divide people into one of two groups. Group one are more casual riders that are interested in electric bikes for hobby purposes. Maybe they want to spend more time outside, take some weekend rides, and maybe even use this bike to get around town sometimes when the weather is nice. Group two is more of a mix of enthusiasts, seasoned motorcycle riders, thrill seekers, and those that want a more capable mode of potentially even primary transportation. So with these profiles in mind, I think the answer to which is best is pretty clear based off of the buyer. If you're coming from a motorcycle and you want something electric, a 750 watt e-bike is going to be very disappointing. And in contrast, if you want to go on nice, peaceful summertime rides with your family on a bike path, a high-powered e-moto is going to be a terrible choice. Okay, but what about a more objective value approach? Some people don't strongly fall into one of these categories, and instead they're making their purchase decision simply based off of the best value, the most bike they can get for the dollar spent. And to this end, let's do a realistic comparison between an e-moto and an e-bike. The Wired Freedom will represent the e-bikes, and the rawrr Mantis X will represent e-motos. There's only a $1,000 difference between these two bikes. The Mantis X, of course, has the edge in speed, power, but not by that much. The Wired packs a hub motor that has a rated power of 3,200 watts with a maximum speed around 40 miles per hour. The Mantis, with its dirt bike DNA, opts for a mid-drive, and the motor has a peak power of 6,500 watts and top speed of 50 miles per hour. So it's double the power, but you can see the beginnings of diminishing returns. The top speed is only a little bit higher, even though the wattage, the motor, is significantly bigger. For the battery, the Wired has a 2,100 watt-hour capacity, which they claim translates to 90 miles of range. The Mantis has a 2,160 watt-hour battery with a claimed range of 62 miles. The Mantis battery, however, is higher voltage, which does directly translate to more responsive and a better overall riding feel. But even so, these batteries are surprisingly close, and the Wired, due to the smaller motor, lighter bike frame, will deliver superior range. But aside from the spec list, the Wired does have functioning pedals, making the bike mostly street legal. I say mostly because the top speed breaks the 28 mile per hour speed limit, but it's certainly safer to ride on streets than an e-moto. Even though physically the two bikes are roughly the same size, the Mantis with the dirt bike inspired design, the pegs, it's certainly going to draw a different kind of attention. So strictly in terms of value, e-bikes can certainly compete with e-motos. Some models such as the Wired Freedom and others give nice levels of speed, power, range at attractive prices with the peace of mind that comes with having pedals and something that looks like an actual bike. And e-motors like the Mantis in their own right are an amazing value with often much higher power levels and a more fun riding experience. Let us know in the comments your take on the situation, and stay tuned because I will be getting my hands on both these bikes very soon on the channel, and I will be doing a direct head-to-head comparison. But until then, stay frosty.